Welcome, every one of you, to the second class in Information and Communication Technology, SRS chapter. How are you doing out there, viewers and listeners, students? Hope you're getting on well with your studies. Today, we'll be looking at the topic as displayed on the screen, computer software. Now, suppose you are asked to define the computer software. What would you do? That's the question. How will you define it? You use computer softwares every day, but you're asked to define it. Would you define it appropriately? And that is why it's necessary that we look at this topic, because it's a topic that most students doing ICT has always on their mind. But when it comes to the actual examinations, they write off point. So today we want to do justice to it. Now I'll start by this. In the learning objectives, you'll be looking at being able to classify computer software, describing each class of software, and providing examples of the software under each class. And the next slide, this is about the definition. So you see on the screen there that you can always define computer software as a set of programs, set of instructions, collection of instructions, collection of programs that can run on the computer. It could be, if it's a program that and cannot run on the computer, then it is not a software. Is that okay? Excuse me. So, a set of instruction or collection of instruction that can run on the computer system is referred to as computer software. And bear in mind that it is the non-physical part of the computer. The other time we looked at hardware, we saw it as a physical part of the computer, like see, touch, okay? But this one, you cannot see it and you cannot touch it. But it plays a very vital role. In fact, without the software, the computer will be lifeless, okay? Just like I gave analogy for the CPU. So the CPU, without the software, cannot do anything useful. Without the software, the system will not be useful to anybody. The system will probably not be able to coordinate itself. Okay? So that is it. It is a very important part of the computer. So what makes up a computer system is software and hardware. Okay. Now going forward here, you see various pictures, the software. All right. Welcome back to the lesson on computer software. I had a short break, and I needed to pause a little while. So now, like I said, if you take a look at these pictures here, they are all representing different types of software. Okay, you have this one, Microsoft Word logo. You have the Linux, which is an operating system. You have Photoshop, which is an application software. You have this is a graphic software. There's a PowerPoint presentation, which is also an application software. Dreamweaver. What was it called? A browser known as Mozilla Firefox, and then Windows operating system. So we have two operating systems here actually, and the rest are application software. Now let's go on with a general overview of what a computer software is all about. Now a computer software is generally classified into system software and application software. Those are the two main classes of a computer software. Are you with me? Now, the system software is further broken down into 5 of these other softwares you're seeing. So the system software is further broken into branches, into classes. You have first the operating system, which is the one that runs, that coordinates and controls the operations of the computer. Then you have the utilities. These are software that run in the background to keep the system in good shape and means for pure maintenance of the system. They carry out maintenance tasks. Okay, always making sure that the system is up to date, the updating and the repairs. Okay, all going on in the background. A good example is your antivirus software and the rest of them. Then you have the drivers. The drivers are actually softwares that come together with a hardware for you to use, be able to use a software or connect a software to your computer and make use of it. The driver had to be installed. So that software that comes with the peripheral you want to use to connect to your computer, maybe a scanner, a microphone, or joystick, whatever kind of device that you want to connect to your computer in order to expand the functionality of your computer. There is a software that comes along with them that you need to install. Some are plug and play. Once you plug it in, it will ask you to install the software. So those software that come along with an external device, okay, functional device is referred to as drivers. Without them, you cannot, your computer will not understand the language that the device is speaking. For instance, a printer, you cannot just plug in a printer and expect that the computer will use it to print. No, it cannot issue any command because it doesn't understand, except that driver is there. When the driver is installed, it will interface. There is a driver that will communicate with the operating system and then to the CPU, then they will understand and know, okay, this thing is meant to do this. So the API, what we call API, application program interface, the driver acts that way. It interfaces between the operating system, the hardware, the computer hardware, and the device you are connecting to that computer. So it's a very important system software. Then you have translators. These ones convert source program to object programs. That's what translators do. Good example is the compiler and interpreters. When a programmer writes code, okay, you call it source code. In that raw form, English form, the computer will not understand. It has to be converted into what? Object code that can be run. So in whatever compiler this in program you have developed, each of those code has to be converted to what we call object code. So it's the translator that does that. That way it will become executable. Is that okay? Then you have the linkers. The linkers connect objects, different object codes together. When the translator converts all the source code or programs into object code, there are different, so it does it in models. So each of these models have to be linked together to be able to make a continuous program, executable program file. And that's what the linkers do. So all these are the various or the 5 branches of a system software. Then you also have application software. Okay. Remember, I've told you that the computer software is divided into 2 parts, or divided into 2 classes. You have the system software and application. I just finished explaining the system software and the various classes into which the system software is divided. Now we're looking at the application software. Application software are those software that does what? That are end user programs. End user in the sense that it is the application software that makes the system really useful to somebody who wants to use it. Without the application software, there is nothing you can do with your system. Okay? Those system software are for the systems. They keep the system in good shape. They enable the system to operate, okay, to be functional. But the application software is what enables the user to be able to use the system judiciously to achieve a particular task, to carry out a particular task. Is that understood? Now, these application software are broken, further divided, or can be classified based on 3 factors. One is purpose, the other one is shareability or availability, and the third one is platform. Now, based on purpose, we have various kind of software that come under that are classified based on purpose. Now, there are 4 classifications under purpose. You have the general purpose software, you have the specific purpose software, you have the bespoke, also known as custom-based or tailor-made application software. Please get it clearly. Based on purpose, you can classify computer into general purpose. You can classify application software into general purpose, into specific purpose. Okay, general purpose, a good example of general purpose application software is Microsoft Suite that contains Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, all these are because they can do more than one thing. Is that okay? That's why we call them general purpose software. Then you have the specific purpose software like your media player, your calculator software, um, to mention those ones that do just specific, your browser. All these are designed to do just one task, okay? And then you also have the bespoke or tailor-made software. Those ones are softwares that have been customized to meet an individual or organization need. For instance, StartRight School might invite a programmer, a software developer to develop a software that or a learning management system that befits the organization, not the general one that is out there. You understand? So such softwares are referred to as bespoke or tailor-made software, and they are all classified based on purpose. Is that okay? Now, based on shareability and availability, like I told you, the one on purpose, this is what you have: application software based on purpose. I gave you the general purpose software. All these word processor, spreadsheets, databases, they are all under general purpose software. Okay, we've already talked about system software. You also have, let me talk about based on availability. That's what I want to explain now. Based on availability, yeah, based on shareability and availability, you have these softwares are classified based on availability and shareability. Then you have the various classification. You have freeware under availability and shareability. Freeware softwares are softwares that are available at free cost, but do not allow modification. That means you don't have the right to modify them. For instance, a web browser, you download them for free, but you cannot do anything to modify it. Okay, it is not your business to modify anything on your web browsers. It's okay, use it for free. You download it for free, but you cannot modify. You don't have the license. Other examples include Zoom, okay, the Zoom application, WhatsApp, and the rest of them. They are free. You download for free, but you cannot modify anything in the source program, in the source code. Then shareware. Shareware are usually softwares that are available. They are licensed software. And as such, because they are licensed, they are available only for a trial period, a very short trial period, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 1 week, maybe 3 days, and after which you'll be asked to pay for the full usage, to use the premium package of that software. Example is Adobe, WinZip. Most Adobe products or software are usually licensed. You do not get them for free, and they can only give you a trial period. And in fact, some of them, before you can even download it for trial period, you need to give them a guarantee. You need to deposit your credit card as a guarantee that you are going to buy it. So it's usually not free. So they are licensed and they're only available for trial period. Okay. Then they're only available for free at the trial period, after which you have to pay for the full version. Exactly. Then you have the open source. Open source are those, just like I was saying, the open source are those software that are available for free, and you can modify the source code. That is, for instance, if you have you download a particular software that is the like Scratch game or Scratch software that you can use to write drag and drop. The codes are exposed. You can reprogram it if you're a professional, and it's a community software, just like Python too. They are community software. You can develop something using the available source code and send it back to the community, and you'll be rated or you'll be rewarded, that kind of thing. So that is open source. They are free. You can get it at zero cost, download it at zero cost, and you have the right to modify the software code. You can use the software code and modify it. Examples are Apache, Web Server, Moodle, and the rest of them. Okay, like I said, Scratch is one of them. Python too. Okay, they are not restriction. There is no restriction to their source code. Now for closed source, those ones are they are more like licensed software. So they are more like shareware that have intellectual property right. Okay, by intellectual property right, it means that you do not have right over the source code. That is the codes that were used to develop that software. You cannot have access to it, and even if you do, you do not have the right to modify or tamper with anything. Otherwise, you'll be prosecuted. So they have that intellectual property right, a law guiding against that. So it guides against plagiarism, guides against uh, offenses like piracy, and the rest of them. So a good example of software that come under closed source, that can be categorized under closed source software, Mac operating system, Windows operating system. Okay, so most operating systems are closed source. They have restriction to their source code. You do not have the right to modify anything, and it's not free. You get it? Some you might get free, but you don't have access to the codes, the source codes. Now, we now want to look at, based on platform, you have native application software that's based on platform. Application software. Remember all this while we've been talking about application software. I've already finished with system software, where I gave you 5 classification or 5 divisions of system software. I talked about operating system. I talked about what's it called, drivers. Talked about utility. Talked about translators and linkers. These are all 5 categories of system software. Then for application software, I talked about the fact that you can classify application software based on 3 good factors, basic factors. One is purpose of usage, 2 is the shareability or availability, and 3 is platform, and that's the one we're talking about now. So based on platform, you have softwares, application software can be categorized or divided into 3. You have native application software, you have the web application software, you have hybrid application software. Now, by native applications, we're referring to those software that can only run, okay, on a particular platform. Okay, for instance, if I develop a software in Windows operating system, it can only run in Windows operating system. If it cannot run any other way, it can only run in that device and in that operating system. That's native. And when it is web application software, then it's web-based. It means some applications are designed to do what, to run on the web. Okay, you open them in their sites. Okay, on the web site. Okay, they run on the website. When you try to download them to run them on the system, you cannot. It doesn't have a way of downloading. Just go to the site, use them there, and off you go. Search repertoire applications. So then you have hybrid application software too. Those ones are the ones that can run both on the platform, on the system, or on the operating system, and can also run on the web. Okay, they are hybrid. Okay, they run on both different platforms. So I will need you to, as a takeaway assignment, endeavor to write short notes on these 3 types of software that is based on platform. Okay, the native application software, web application software, hybrid application. Write short note on them. Give further detailed explanation on each of them. That's the assignment. Make sure it is submitted. There will be classwork preceding this topic, which I will post in Google Classroom, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, but take time to go through each of these. See, go through all these applications. Okay, based on general purpose. Okay, know the ones that are for specific purpose. Based on purpose. Photo editing is specific. Graphic manipulation softwares are specific. They do a specific lesson. Okay, as camera software. Then video editing software just for editing of videos, manipulating videos. So that's just their job. They're specific. Then so that's based on purpose now. Understand? So then you also, all these are various examples. Word processing. These ones are general purpose. Like Microsoft Word, you can do so many things with it. The spreadsheet, you can do so many things. All the Microsoft softwares are general purpose. Are you getting it? Then I talked about Basebook, where you invite a developer to do what? Develop a software that will suit your personal need or an organization need. Those ones are tailor-made or bespoke software. So that is it on this topic. There's really not much to say. Just remember that computer software is divided, basically, generally divided into two. You have the system software, the one that is meant for system, and you have the application software, that the one that is meant for the end user. And we've seen the various ways you can classify, you can further break them down. The system software can further be classified, broken down or subdivided into five. Five subdivisions, which I've already told you. And then the application software can be classified based on three factors: purpose or usage, availability or shareability, and then platform or types of platform. And for each of these factors, we've seen the various ways, the ways or the various software that can be classified under them. So at this point, I want to draw the curtain on computer software. I hope that you've learned a lot from this, and you will do justice to whatever question that crops up from this topic. So have a jolly good day. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.